In this session, we will see the design of shear reinforcement. Design of shear reinforcement for PSA beam. So for this design, as usual, we use the code IS 1343 1980. 1980. We use this standard code book for the design of the shear reinforcement in the PSA beams. Okay. So in the previous classes, we have seen how to estimate the ultimate shear resistance capacity of the PSA beam in two different situations. That is, one when the failure is only due to the web shear failure, that is only due to the shear stresses. And the second situation where we can see the failure due to the both shear stresses as well as due to the flexural stresses, that is shear flexure or flexure shear failure. So in both the situations, we know how to calculate the ultimate shear resistance of the concrete or the PSA beams. Now, so whenever we are designing the shear reinforcement, the design of the shear reinforcement is completely based on the ultimate shear resistance capacity of the concrete. See, we know how to calculate V, that is a VC, or you can say VCO, or it is a VCR, that is ultimate shear resistance capacity of the concrete at the support sections and also at the mid-span. So whenever we are designing the shear reinforcement, we have to observe how much is the ultimate shear resistance capacity of the concrete and how much is the actual shear force developing in the beam. So these two things we need to observe. If actual shear force in the beam, if it is less than VC, that is the ultimate shear resistance capacity of the concrete, then no need of shear reinforcement. There is no need to provide the shear reinforcement, but still we provide the nominal shear reinforcement. We provide a nominal shear reinforcement, right? Then in the second situation, if actual shear force is greater than the ultimate shear resistance capacity of the beams, then we need to provide the shear reinforcement. Provide shear reinforcement. So we need to provide the shear reinforcement. We need to calculate the how much is the diameter of the bars, or usually we assume the diameter of the shear reinforcement, and we will just decide at what intervals, that is the spacing, will be calculated. So here in the first situation where the shear reinforcement is not required, but will still be provide nominal shear reinforcement, assuming some random diameter of the shear reinforcement, and we will estimate the spacing of the shear reinforcement SV as ASV, that is area of the shear reinforcement of each bar, into 0.87 times of the Fy divided by 0.4 times of the B. 0.4 times of the B. Using this equation, we have to estimate the spacing of the shear reinforcement, which is nominal. In the second situation where exactly the shear reinforcement is required, we have to calculate the spacing again by assuming some nominal diameter of the bars. Here the spacing is calculated, spacing SV is calculated using the formula, same point, ASV into 0.87 Fy into dt whole divided by V minus Vc. So using this formula, we have to work out the spacing of the shear reinforcement. So usually we assume the diameter of the shear reinforcement, then we'll estimate at what intervals those shear reinforcement need to be provided. Okay. So based on this, we will solve some of the problems. Okay. The first problem, the support section of PSC beam, 100 millimeter wide and 250 millimeter deep, is required to support an ultimate shear force of 60 kilonewton. The compressive stress at centroid. The compressive stress at centroid is 5 newtons per millimeter square. The characteristic strength of the concrete, it is FCK is 40 newtons per millimeter square. The cover to the reinforcement is 50 millimeter. If the characteristic strength of the steel, in stirrups, that is Fy is equals to 250 newtons per millimeter square. Design suitable reinforcement at the section using IS 1343 recommendations. Okay, so this is the definition of the problem, or this is how we have defined the problem. Now based on this information, we have to check whether the shear reinforcement is required or no. If it is required, then we have to calculate the reinforcement details. If it is not required, then we need to provide the nominal shear reinforcement. Okay. As I said earlier also, whether the reinforced shear reinforcement is required or no, it is estimated based on the actual shear force and the ultimate shear resistance capacity of the section. So here, as per the given problem, so this says the beam needs to support an ultimate shear force of 60 kilonewton. Means the actual shear force acting, that is ultimate shear force, the shear force acting on this section is 60 kilonewtons. So they have given the breadth of the beam as 100 millimeter and the overall depth as 250 millimeter, and VU, that is ultimate shear force, which supposed to act on the given section as 60 kilonewtons. The compressive strength of the concrete at the centroid, compressive strength of the compressive stress in the concrete at centroid, that is FCP, it is 5 newtons per millimeter square, and FCK is about 40 newtons per millimeter square. They have given the cover as 50 millimeter. Okay, right. So Fy is also given. Fy is 250 newtons per millimeter square. So all this information is given. So based on this given information, we have to calculate how much is the actual ultimate shear resistance capacity of the section, and then we need to compare with the given or the actual acting shear force. If based on that parameter, then we need to take a decision of whether the shear reinforcement is required or no. Okay. So here, for the given section, okay, so as it is a support section, then we have to calculate VCO, that is ultimate shear resistance capacity of the section at these supports, that is the failure is assumed only due to the web shear failure. So for that we have the formula 0.67 B into D under root Ft square minus 0.8 times of FCP, 0.8 times of FCP into Ft. So this is the formula, we all know it. So using this formula, we have to calculate how much is the ultimate shear resistance capacity of the beam, right? So here we know B, how much is the breadth of the beam is 100 millimeter, and the depth of the beam, it is 250 millimeter. Then we have the FCP is given. Only thing is we need to work out the Ft, that is the tensile strength of the concrete. So Ft is equals to, we all know that it is 0.24 times of the under root of FCK. So 0.24 into under root of FCK is 40 newtons per millimeter square. So we get the Ft as 1.517 newtons per millimeter square as a the tensile strength of the concrete, that is FT. Now, if I substitute all these things here, VCO is equals to, it is 0.67 into 100 into 250 under root of 1.517 square minus 0.8 into 5 into 1.517. This gives me VCO. That is ultimate shear resistance capacity of the section as 48.4 kilonewtons. Right. So the given section has a capacity of resisting the shear force as 48.4 kilonewton. But how much the shear force actually acting on the section? So that is, we know it is 60 kilonewtons. So now based on this, we have to take other decision. Here VCO is less than the VU. So what is the decision here? Shear reinforcement is required because the capacity is less than the actual acting. So we need to provide the shear reinforcement. Okay. Let us see. So here, let us assume provide 8 mm dia as the diameter for the shear reinforcement. Okay. So 8 mm dia, two-legged 8 mm or 8 mm two-legged diameter as the diameter for the shear reinforcement. So now let us calculate what should be the spacing we need to provide for this shear reinforcement. Therefore, spacing of shear reinforcement, that is SV is equal to, we know that it is ASV into 0.87 Fy into dt whole divided by it is VU minus VCO. Okay, don't interchange or don't get confused with this. It is VU minus VCO. So now here what is ASV? ASV is the area of steel for the shear reinforcement. That is, we are providing 8 mm two-leg bar. So what is the area, cross-sectional area of this shear reinforcement? So let us work out ASV. So ASV is two-legged. So it is 2 into pi by 4 into diameter. So diameter of the bar is 8 millimeter square. So this gives us 108. One 100.53 millimeter square is the area of each shear reinforcement, the cross-section area of each shear reinforcement. So Fy, that is the yield strength of the steel, is 250 newtons per millimeter square. We know VU, we know VC. So what is dt? That is the important thing here. So dt is the effective depth. So we know that overall depth is 250 and the cover is 50 millimeter. So the effective depth is 250 minus 50, it will be 200 millimeter. Therefore, spacing, you can say spacing SV is equals to ASV is 100.53 into 0.87 into FY is 250 into DT is 200 whole divided by VU minus VC. How much is VU? VU is 60 minus VCO is 48.4. So this is in terms of kilonewtons. So I will convert it into newtons by multiplying 10 to the power of 3. So I will get SV, that is spacing, as 376.99. 376.99 millimeter is the spacing required. So can we provide this much of spacing? No. As per code, there are some of the conditions we need to follow whenever we are providing the spacing. That is, the maximum spacing allowed as per code is 0.75 times of the depth. 0.75 times of the effective depth, that is DT. So here 0.75 into 200. So the maximum spacing, it will be 150 millimeters. So we cannot able to provide this spacing more than this value, even though actual required is higher than that, because this is the restrictions from the code book. So based on this, I can say that we need to provide a reinforcement of 2-legged 8 mm dia vertical stirrups. Therefore, this statement is very important. Provide 2-legged 8 mm dia vertical stirrups at 150 millimeter center to center. So this is the final outcome or the final decision of the problem. Okay. We'll move on to the next problem. The support section of a PSA beam support section of a PSC beam 150 millimeter into 300 millimeter is to resist a shear of 100 kilonewtons. The pre-stress at centroidal axis, is, that is FCP they are given, it is 5 newtons per millimeter square. FCK is 40 kilonewtons per millimeter square. The cover to tension reinforcement, is 45 millimeter. Check the section for shear and design the suitable shear reinforcement. Check the section for shear and design suitable shear reinforcement. As good as like the previous problem. See here, they have given a section. The width of the section is how much? It is 150 millimeter, and the depth of the section is 300 millimeter. Somewhere here they have the precessing force, and the cover is about 45 millimeter, right? So here this will becomes the effective depth dt as 255 millimeter. Okay. As usual, again we have to calculate the how much is the depth of the ultimate shear resistance capacity of the section. Then we need to compare with the actual force which is acting here. Okay. So here you can see the actual load or actual shear force acting on the section is about 100 kilonewton. So we need to work out how much is the ultimate shear stress or shear force acting at the section. Ultimate shear force VU is equals to, it is 1.5 times of the 100 kilonewtons, that is 150 kilonewtons, right? Now let us calculate the tensile strength of the section, that is Ft is equals to 0.24 times under root of FCK, 0.24 into under root of FCK, it is 40 kilonewtons. So I think that is 1.517 newtons per millimeter square. Let me verify. So Ft is equals to 1.51. Okay. Right. Then the other things are given. Therefore, ultimate shear resistance, it is VCO is equals to 0.67 BD into Ft square minus 0.8 FCP into Ft. So this is the formula. So here 0.67 into B is 150, overall depth is 300 into 1.517 whole square minus 0.8 into FCP. I think FCP is given, it is 5 newtons per millimeter square. So it is 5 into 1.517. So this gives me a value of VCO, that is ultimate shear resistance capacity of the section, as 86.59 kilonewtons. 86.59 kilonewtons. So this much is the capacity of the section to resist the shear force. But how much is the actual acting? So actually the load or the shear force developing in the section is 150 kilonewton. So our section is weak enough to carry the shear force. So we have to provide the shear forces. Therefore here Vu is greater than the Vco, hence shear reinforcement is required. So now again, how to provide the shear reinforcement? We have to assume some diameter for the shear reinforcement, then calculate the spacing. So assuming again 2-legged 8 mm dia vertical stirrups. What will be the ASV? ASV, that is area of each vertical stirrup. It will be again 100.53 millimeter square as we have calculated in the previous problem. Then the effective depth dt, here dt will be, it is 255 millimeter. As I said, the cover is 45 millimeter, so effective depth will be 255. Therefore spacing SV is equals to, we know that it is ASV into 0.87 Fy into dt whole divided by Vu minus Vco. So if I substitute the values here, it is 100.53 into 0.87 Fy. I think Fy is not given. Assuming it as HYSD bars, HYSD bars. So here let me write, assuming 2-legged 8 mm HYSD bars. So let us assume that 4 on 5 is the yield strength of the HYSD bars into 255 whole divided by 150 minus 86.59 into 10 to the power 3 gives me a value of 145.96. So 145.96 millimeter. Okay, so this is the estimated spacing required from the calculation, but I cannot directly provide this. I have to verify whether it is within the limit as per the code book. That is, as per code, the maximum spacing SV is equals to, it is 0.75 into dt. So 0.75 into 255. So this gives me a value of 191.25 millimeter. Right, so we cannot provide more than this value, but or whatever the estimated, it is less than this, then we can go ahead with that spacing. Right, you can go ahead with that spacing. So hence we can write, therefore provide 2-legged 8 mm dia vertical stirrups at 145 millimeter center to center. So this is the design of the shear reinforcement.